Okay, we got cut off, so this is part B of our chapter 10, video 0. Here we go. So this should just still keep going on your same note sheet. So MAD. I'm going to move these around, and then when we're finished, we'll go through and you can write it down. So if you haven't heard of MAD before, it stands for mean absolute deviation, okay? And we're going to take some of these other words to help us. So mean means the average, right? Absolute is for absolute value, telling you how far away, right? Absolute value is a distance along the number line. And then deviation means how far off are you or how far away are you from something. So when we are asked to find the MAD, or the mean absolute deviation, that's asking us to find the average distance away, right? The average distance away, and it's going to be the average distance away from the mean, okay? So let's do a little bit more. So basically, the MAD tells you how spread out your numbers are, right? We're going to be looking at how far away numbers are from the mean or the average. So it's basically telling us if are our numbers real close together or are they pretty spread out, okay? So a small MAD, if you get a MAD and you calculate it and it's pretty little, then that tells you your numbers are really close together. They're really close to the mean, okay? So on a number line, if this was my mean or my average, and I had a really small MAD, a really small mean absolute deviation, that means all my numbers would be right here, real pretty close to the average, not very far away, okay? If we have a big MAD, a big mean absolute deviation, then that means the number in your data set are really far apart. They're really spread out, okay? They're far away from the mean or the average. So again, if I have my average here and I have a very large mean absolute deviation, that means my numbers are real far away from the average. They could be pretty spread out, okay? So that's kind of giving you an idea of what the MAD tells us about our data set, okay? So it would be a good idea to add these pictures to your notes, to your paper, right? So in this chapter, we're going to be using the MAD to kind of compare some populations, and we need to know how to find it. All right, so let's go over the steps. So step 1, if you're asked to find the MAD, step 1, find the mean of the data set. So whatever your list of numbers is, add them up, divide by how many numbers you have, and find that mean. Okay? Step 2 is to calculate then how far each of the numbers in your list, how far away it is from that average or that mean that you just got right here in step 1. Okay? So you're going to use the absolute value because distances are always positive, right? So if you calculate that the average is 8 and then you have 10 in your list, well, that's 2 away. So you would write down 2 for that one. If you have 18 in your list, then that is 8 away. Okay, so you're just looking at each number in your list and saying, okay, how far away is it from the mean or the average that I calculated in step 1? And then step 3 is to find the mean or the average of those numbers that you just got in step 2. Okay, so that, once you find this mean of your list from step 2, that is your mean absolute deviation, right? It's the average of the distances away from 0. Or sorry, the distances away from your average. All right, so let's work through one together. Here's my example. Okay, here's my list of numbers. Let's go through the steps. Step 1, find the mean of the data set. All right, cool. So take a minute to add these all up. 25 plus 15 plus 20 plus 17 plus 22 plus 28 plus 27. And I get a total of 154. Cool. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers in my list. So when I calculate this and divide, I get the average of my original data set is 22. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2, now calculate how far away each of the numbers in my list is away from 22. How far are they from 22? All right, so let's do that. Well, 25 is 3 away from 22. 15 is 7 away. 20 is 2 away. 17 is 5 away. 22 is 0 away. 28 is 6 away. And 27 is 5 away. That's step 2. To get that list of distances, how far is each of these away from the mean? And notice it didn't matter if I was up or down, right? If I was over or under, I just took the absolute value, the distance, how far away. Okay? Step 3 is to find the mean or the average of these numbers. Okay? So 3 plus 7 plus 2 plus 5 plus 0 plus 6 plus 5, get that total. So I added those up and I got 28. And there are still 7 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when I divide that, I get 4. And that is my mean absolute deviation. So it's saying that on average, the numbers in my list are 4 away from the mean. Okay? So we're going to do more practice with this. Okay? But you have the notes, you have the examples. Now you know what we're talking about when we say MAD. Okay? So that's the end there of video 0.